Welcome to our discussion on managing overthinking. Do you ever find yourself stuck in a constant cycle of worry and anxiety, replaying conversations in your head or imagining negative outcomes? Overthinking can be exhausting and overwhelming, making it difficult to focus on the present moment or make decisions. But don't worry, in this discussion, we'll explore practical strategies to help you manage overthinking, reduce anxiety, and improve your overall well-being. From mindfulness techniques to scheduling thinking time, we'll provide tips to help you break the cycle of overthinking and live a more peaceful, present life. So, let's get started. Overthinking is a habit of constantly dwelling on past events or worrying excessively about the future. This habit involves two destructive thought patterns: ruminating and incessant worrying. Ruminating involves replaying past events repeatedly, which can lead to negative feelings such as regret and self-doubt. On the other hand, incessant worrying involves negative predictions about the future, which can lead to anxiety and fear. While changing these thought patterns may be challenging, there are techniques available to help reduce overthinking and improve overall well-being. First technique: when you're stuck in your head. Overthinking can become a habitual pattern of thought, where it becomes difficult to identify when you are doing it. It is important to start paying attention to the way you think so that you can become aware of the problem. This awareness can help you recognize when your thoughts are not productive and when they are leading to negative emotions or behaviors. When you find yourself replaying events in your mind over and over or worrying about things that you cannot control, it is important to acknowledge that this kind of thinking is not productive. It is only helpful when it leads to positive action. By recognizing when you are engaging in overthinking and shifting your focus to taking productive action, you can break the cycle of negative thinking and begin to cultivate a more positive mindset. The next technique we discuss: keep the focus on problem solving. When faced with a problem, it's easy to get caught up in dwelling on the issue and replaying it over and over in your mind. However, this type of overthinking is not productive and can even be detrimental to your mental health. Instead, try to focus on finding solutions to the problem at hand. If the problem is something you have control over, consider taking preventative measures or challenging yourself to come up with multiple potential solutions. However, there are some situations where the problem is out of your control, such as natural disasters. In these cases, it's important to focus on coping strategies that can help you manage the situation. While you may not be able to control the situation itself, you can control your attitude and effort in dealing with it. To cope with a difficult situation, try to remain mindful and present in the moment. Allow yourself to feel your emotions, but also try to engage in self-care practices that can help you manage stress and anxiety. Seek support from friends and loved ones, and consider seeking professional help if you are struggling to cope on your own. Remember that it's okay to ask for help and that you don't have to face challenges alone. As for the term cope, it means to deal with and manage difficult or challenging situations in a healthy and effective manner. Coping strategies can include various techniques such as self-care practices, seeking support from others, and developing a positive attitude towards the situation. Effective coping can help individuals to reduce stress and anxiety, improve their mental health, and ultimately improve their overall well-being. Next technique we discuss is challenge your thoughts. Negative thoughts can often lead to an exaggerated perception of reality, making it easy to jump to worst-case scenarios. For example, assuming that calling in sick to work will result in getting fired, or forgetting one deadline will result in becoming homeless. However, it's important to take a step back and assess whether these thoughts are realistic or just a product of our emotions. Our emotions can interfere with our ability to view situations objectively, leading to distorted thinking patterns. By acknowledging this tendency, we can learn to approach our thoughts with a more critical eye. It's helpful to evaluate the evidence and consider both sides of the argument. What evidence supports our negative thoughts, and what evidence contradicts them. Taking a rational and objective approach to negative thoughts can help us better understand our emotions and prevent us from being overwhelmed by them. By recognizing and challenging negative thoughts, we can develop a more balanced perspective and avoid getting carried away by negative thinking patterns. Next technique we discuss is schedule time for reflection. It's important to reflect on our problems to learn from them, but excessive rumination can be counterproductive. Taking a brief moment to think about how we can approach situations differently or identifying potential obstacles can be beneficial in improving our performance in the future. One way to manage our thinking process is by setting aside 20 minutes daily for dedicated thinking time. During this time, we can allow ourselves to worry, ruminate, or contemplate any issue that is on our mind. Once the allocated time is over, it's crucial to shift our attention to other activities. If we find ourselves overthinking things outside of the scheduled thinking time, it's important to remind ourselves to wait until the next designated time to address those issues. This approach helps us regulate our thinking and avoid getting caught up in negative thought patterns throughout the day. The final technique we discuss is learn mindfulness skills. Focusing on the present moment can help reduce the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. Practicing mindfulness can increase awareness of our current surroundings. Like any other skill, mindfulness requires practice to master, and it can lead to decreased overthinking over time. Resources such as classes, books, apps, courses, and videos are available to help individuals develop mindfulness skills. Change the channel. Attempting to force yourself to stop thinking about something can actually lead to the opposite effect. Trying to suppress a thought can cause it to become more persistent. Instead of fighting the unwanted thoughts, try shifting your focus by engaging in a different activity. For example, exercising, having a conversation about a different topic, or working on a task that requires your concentration. Distracting yourself with a different activity can interrupt the cycle of negative thoughts and give your mind a break from the mental strain. Train your brain. Being mindful of our thinking patterns can increase our awareness of negative mental habits. With continued practice, we can train our minds to think in more positive and productive ways. Consistently engaging in healthy thinking habits can strengthen our mental resilience and help us become mentally stronger over time.